Hello, fellow humans. So I wasn't gonna do this video at first because I was too in my head. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm in my sports bra again. But y'all, I am in my fitness girly era. Okay, every day when I get up and I'm doing like all my necessary requirements to exist functionally and healthy as a human. Because it turns out there's a lot you gotta do to keep these things up. And I'm just like, I need to be in my outfit. So whenever the energy hits me, I can just go. So there'll be one part of the day when I'm like lifting weights, and then I'll come do some more work, and then I'll go do a walk or whatever. It's just I'm getting in the energy of being active. I feel like maybe my get out of isolation card is coming. I've been testing the waters, but something is occurring here. And part of that was releasing the blockages that are in your head that nobody else cares about. So I decided today that I needed a mantra, something that I just keep repeating myself that's in the back of my head that I just like, I need to believe through and through. And I didn't want it to be anything crazy, like whatever I want comes to me now, because magic can go, and you have to know yourself and your star player. I need to keep things in moderation. I need to do this from a place that is like organic, right? So I came up with like, I am worthy. And it was just different versions of I am worthy. I am worthy of the life I want. I am worthy of the abundance I want. I am worthy of the love I desire. And I am open to receive it because I am worthy. So if you are a person who has been through a lot of trauma, a lot of darkness, fighting against the parts of you that are used to that darkness is really the battle. The parts of you that are expecting something to go wrong or like, big surprise, nothing good happens here. That is the part of you that needs to be converted, right? So a mantra helps start programming it in your mind. It's not what it was, it's what it could be going forward. And you can change things because you already been through the hard part. The hard part is actually in the first 12 years. Everything else is cycled around that. And you have to pull the pieces apart. So with the whole I am open to receive thing, I recognized, I think it was like last week, that sometimes you can be manifesting something, but if that shadow part of yourself is still in there, like, if something good happens, something bad has to happen, just that little voice that's always being a hater, then there's going to be something clicking against your manifestation. So, in a way, you have to give permission. I'll allow it, is what you have to say. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to be full on, I'll be a millionaire one day, or just all that belief, because that can be very shocking to someone that has been at the bottom. And when something is shocking and you can't even like fathom it, it starts to create that block again, right? But if you say, I am open to be allowed. I am open to be allowed. I am open to being wild. I am open to being surprised. I will allow good things to happen to me. Show me better than what I have seen. That sort of stuff is giving permission for the universe to just go ahead and act in your best interest. Because sometimes we block what we're going to have or what we're supposed to have, underestimating ourselves. So I wanted to do a poll today based upon that, just based on the whole idea of being open to receive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull for feminine collective, feminine identifying collective, and masculine identifying collective. I am always going to do it that way because it does not matter what body you're in. Sometimes we swap. These bodies are like cars. Sometimes you are a spirit that identifies as female, usually, and you wanted to see what having some balls would do for you. Okay, we swap and we switch, but internally, you know what you are, you know what you identify as, or what you are connected to soul wise. So I'm going to do first and foremost with my archetype deck. Who is this message for? Who is this collective? Feminine over this side and masculine on this side. And I'm just going to break it down on both because I am going to be giving you your why or your target. Like, what part of your shadow are you going to be converting, or you need to create a mantra for? What part of your shadow? And I don't like to say erase or fight anymore. Now that I like know better, I've learned more. What part of your shadow needs to be loved, needs to be spoken to? That's what I'm doing when I say that I am worthy. I'm talking to the part of me that didn't have anybody who could understand what I was, so they would just talk down about it. Made me feel less than, and I carry that with me. I don't need that anymore. I can't take that where I'm going, so something has to shift. Your mind is the thing that controls the game. So if you're going to change anything, start with this. So, who is the feminine collective that this message is for today? Who is the feminine collective that this message is for today? And I have the pyrite frequency 432 going in the background today. And that's typically abundance. It's like recognizing the gold within you. So who is the masculine collective that I am delivering this message for today? Who's the masculine collective? I'm just gonna go ahead and pull the cards off top so that when I start reading, I can just, that was me shooting off. So the next deck I'm using is the Dark Goddess. So Dark Goddesses are those who have been through trauma, but have flipped that into something that is a weapon. So you used to fall down and get beat up a lot as a kid. You're probably a pretty good fighter now, or you can take a hit. Like that's the way it works. There is always some plus to a minus because that's how balance works here. So what is the feminine collective transmuting and using for empowerment? Almost paused this, my finger hit the button. What is the masculine collective transmuting and using for power? And just in this moment, I got the ping. Y'all know I love a good ping, right? To grab my maps deck so I can tell you where you're being guided or where you're headed based upon following these directions or clearing out the blockage that has you slowed down in the road a little bit. So where is the divine feminine being guided at this time? Where are they being guided following this? It could be during, like you're dissolving and moving stuff as I'm picturing like somebody swimming through. That. Where's the divine masculine being routed at this time? I'm not gonna lie, guys, doing all this mindset stuff has done like wonders. Like before I ever like really like you can even look back at the videos from the beginning of this page. I was so depressed I did not know I was depressed because it was just my I thought natural state of being, but I had been depressed like since childhood. I didn't even realize there was another part in here until this whole isolation thing happened. And I got a chance to say, oh damn, this is me. Like half of that stuff I didn't even connect with, or I don't even connect with anymore because like some of it was from my misery. Sometimes you like gravitate towards other miserable things. Like I used to love South Park, Bad Girls Club, loving hip hop, all of that. And my mom would always be like, how can you watch that drama? And I'm like, you're a hater, mom. But no, now I'm like, how can y'all watch that? It's just the noise. I can't even watch Real Housewives. My whole spirit has changed. I can't listen to certain music. I can't eat certain food. And I can't do anything but like, thank you, God, because I didn't even know I was in hell. And you still put your hand out to lift me up. So just wanted to pass that on. So I had this deck sitting from a session I did earlier. And I think I'm just going to add like a bonus card for each one before I get to crack in here. So what is the bonus message for the feminine? One card. What is the bonus message for the feminine? Boom. What is the bonus message for the masculine? So let's get going, guys. So first and foremost, who is the feminine that this message is for today? All right. I got the Knight, a loyal, romantic, chivalrous, honorable person who loves love. This is a romantic, and then also a rebel. So let me go ahead and show y'all. A rebel, somebody who is outside the box, a little different from other people. So your idea of romance might not even be typical, but it's just like a high horse. It's not like you think you're better than other people, but you know who you are, you know what you want, you know what you deserve, kind of. You're working on it. Even though there's a part of you that is slightly outcasted because of your beliefs and your energy and just your overall, look at the attitude here. swag. So, hippie lover person. That's what I'd say there. So, who is the masculine that this message is made for today? This is so cool, guys. So, I'll figure that out in a second. Notice how, right? The knight is usually the masculine energy, right? Let me help you out there. This is what just popped up in the feminine, right? I came over to the masculine to see who this was for. The damsel was first. So these are two people, or these two groups, these two piles, are people who are healing their opposite opposing energy. So if you're a lover girl, chances are, the cards fell out over here. If you're in the lover girl pile, lover girl rebel, it's because like you were originally a lover girl who had these soft, fruity ideas, damsel energy about love, and now you're more in your masculine when it comes to romance and dating. You're like, all right, show me first, as opposed to when you're in your feminine, you're like, oh my goodness, like rose-colored glasses. The masculine is in the rose-colored glasses era, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's illusion, but this person is looking optimistic. This group is looking more optimistically and seeking. If you are a masculine energy that has been seeking your feminine counterpart, seeking your feminine energy, the one that's in you, in somebody externally, it's like you're looking for your match. You're looking for the female version of you, is what I'm getting. But it's like something about that is supposed to heal your inner feminine energy. And for guys or masculine identifying, your feminine energy is, do you go get your nails manicured? Do you care about like your face? Like, hey, what you smell like? What that cologne do? Like those are the parts of your masculine energy that is feminine. How do you take care or nurture yourself and others? That's your feminine energy. You are seeking that same thing as the main energy that is coming out of your mate, right? That's what this is over here. You are also, because it's weird in a way, like you're seeking to find yourself, but you're seeking to find yourself in somebody else as like a match. Like do I want to say reflection? Like it doesn't have to be like exact, but as I say that, is that a mirror? I don't know, something going on there. It's freaking weird. But somebody who is seeking themselves, but possibly seeking themselves through love for that collective. You're searching for the missing piece to your puzzle over here in the masculine pile, and in the feminine pile, it's more feeling like, show me that this person exists. Show me that somebody that can match my masculine energy exists, because then the shift will happen. This feminine will relax into that energy that's go, go, go. And the masculine will step into his energy of chivalry and honorableness and all that. So these feel like two piles of counterparts. Like just the two hives, the two groups that I'm speaking to are counterparts. So let's see here. What is being transmuted for the feminine over here to be turned into? Okay, wrath is being turned into defense. And didn't I say this feminine pile is in their masculine energy? Like you will get a foot to your throat from this feminine at this time, this whole collective. If you try them, wrath being turned into boundaries. So the wrath came from an era of not taking care of yourself, not having boundaries, being wide open. And I just said something about that. This is always amazing to me, guys. But after a while, people taking advantage of your naturally kind nature turned into a wrecking ball. Look at that in the background. That was the chaos energy you were holding. Deep resentment and wrath. But that is being transmuted or converted into the strength to shut that shit down before somebody takes your energy. You're learning how to put your guard up, to build walls around what you want to be sacred. You got tough, you got harder. Absolutely. But that goes back to this rebel energy here. Like you don't believe in the traditional anymore. And that's fine. You could be creating a whole new genre of love story or something. Because all of this, the common denominator between both piles is all of this was an internal thing. And then they realized, like, this is what I need for an external if I'm going to be with somebody. But these two piles have already sort of came to, oh, this is who I am. This is who I'm going to be going forward. This is not about growth per se. Like, you know, I do a lot of readings in there, like about, oh, you're going through this right now, you're growing. These feel like two groups that have solidified themselves in self and what they want, and they're ready for the next chapter, which is finding a partner and then finding a way to take that pain that they want to leave behind and to repurpose it so it's not just like tossed to the side or put in the shadow. Preparing for the next chapter. Okay, so let's see what's being turned over here. Ooh, this is thick. So we have drama, and I find this very interesting because I never realized it was like a Flotsam and Jetsam type energy coming off of this one. But this person is turning drama into curiosity, or this group, sorry, of masculines, drama and things from the past. And it looks like succubus siren heifers, like people draining their energy, turning it into curiosity about new things. And it's Pandora opening the box for the second one. But in this case, it feels like possibly this pile was in loops of getting the same thing, meeting the same people in different bodies, just always the same drama. This person that is seeking softness in their life, seeking to find somebody soft, right, is now curious about opening other doors. That's what leads away from the drama and allows you to, it's like the weight on my shoulders. Well, this is my boob, it's the weight on my shoulder. But it made me just want to adjust to, like, there's a weight that has been on this group's shoulder that wasn't there. So imagine this is an extremely masculine group that takes on everybody's problems, and it just always has them trying to put out fires for other people that aren't even necessarily their fires or their problems, but they're just really good at solving stuff. So they're always like, this is that person taking that weight off of their shoulder and being more lighthearted about what could happen. Because the card is curiosity. What happens if I open this box? What if I try something different than what I've been trying before? That is going to be the conversion in the energy and the trauma. The trauma and the difficulty that was happening before was because this person or this group was in a toxic cycle because their feminine energy was toxic in some way. Like maybe this, I've seen this happen like when you have really strong feminine figures around and they emasculate the males in the family. If you saw other men be emasculated or were around other men who were sort of toxic in their ideas about the feminine, also could be something like that. But it's like the thoughts you had about females and what was possible before, your position or role to them, created this constant loop of drama all the time. You don't have to subscribe to those toxic things. And that's the way to sort of go forward. Like next time somebody said, hey, let me tell you about blah, blah, blah. I'm sorry, I am unavailable for you to load your burdens on my shoulders. I'm going to walk towards some people who don't need me to solve their problems and appreciate me just for who I am as a person. So that's why this pile is no longer in this knight chivalrous energy that was attracting enemies clearly. But this energy of going forward, bringing roses, bringing flowers, always sort of on the hunt. They're not in that energy. They're in this one. So the masculine is actually getting comfortable with the idea of receiving what they've been giving out to others all this time. And that is what's opening the door to them being curious about, hey, what is some stuff or some type of people that I haven't tried? Maybe I've just been going about it the wrong way. So where is this conversion leading? Starting with the feminine, slow and steady, you are rising into cruising altitude. That's what I like to say. Like, you know how a plane hits liftoff and they say, all right, we got about such and such miles before we get to our cruising altitude of 30,000 feet. That's what's going on now. Slowly but steadily, as you start stepping forward, feeling secure with your new boundaries, you're going to be swimming. Just keep swimming like Dory. It's like the more you aren't afraid to step out into the world as who you are now, with your arms up, knowing who you can talk to and who you can't talk to, you're going to feel empowered on your grind, flying high. It's just like nothing can stop you because you already got like your hand out. I don't know what move that is that football players do, like when they have the ball and they're running through people. Like, baby, you got the ball and you about to be knocking them out the way, is what I'm feeling here. Nobody's going to stop you anymore because you're not letting people in your ear the way that you used to. You are in your healed masculine energy, feminine. You are in your healed era. And it's like you've accepted your dark feminine, or you don't have to always be soft or cuddly, or you're okay with being perceived as the villain if that's what that is to them, if you don't end up hurt because you let them walk over you when you knew better. Okay? So for the masculine, ooh, where are you being led? It feels like, and everything just dropped energy wise, that drama blue. I just heard like the country is just blue in my head. It's blue. I don't know if you've been dealing with like a low running depression. And when I say low running, I don't even think that's a term, right? What it is like it's been running in the background of your computer subconsciously this whole time. You didn't even realize how sad or depressed you were about how much negativity you were taking on, or how much negativity was going on around you all the time. Gossip, drama, pessimism, just people that are like, ew, your mindset couldn't be the beautiful blossoming flower it is if people kept throwing cement on your flower. This is not even people throwing dirt. They're just throwing their cement on your rose. But you are the rose that grew from concrete, is what I'm getting here. Or that will grow from concrete. So you're going to be spending some time recalibrating your castle, fighting your demons. And I am getting in this moment that I need to read what this says, because it's going to send a message to the people that it is for, something that will trigger the message they've already been getting. So let's see. Dragon's Lair, number 19. Let me show you the card again. I love how I just opened the page 18. So it was right there. Let me show you the card again. And it's given Bat Cave vibe, sort of. Like, look, there's a probably extremely fashionable car there. Nobody can get in this house but the dragon. So that makes me definitely feel like some time alone to thaw out, because this is an ice castle. To thaw out from everything. Like, I had to explain to a client earlier, I was trying to tell her there were people in her energy and she needed to light a white candle to flush everyone out of her energy. The directions were actually a fern plant, one white 7-day candle, a cup of water, and then a patchouli incense. Because in my mind, what I saw was like the condensation cycle, evaporation cycle. I saw energy go up, go into the cloud and gets cleansed, and then come back down pouring in like abundance for her. So I told her, all that negative energy that's been coming towards you or that's in your field, we need to find a way to clear that out. So you have the fern, which is new beginnings, rebirth, and protection from negativity as like a filter. The candle is going to do an energetic flush. The water is also acting as a conduit for all of that to come through. And then the incense is like the smoke, the evaporation. Patchouli is for finances and money. I should probably also tell her to add a pyrite crystal to it. But all of these elements work together to create a flow. That's what magic is, creating a flow for yourself. And in this case, that was custom work for her to clear out negative energy from a lot of people who have been gossiping and throwing stuff at her. I have her sitting in the Dragon's Lair thawing out now. That's what she'll be working on, because there's so much stuff that she needs to do to raise back up her vibration to where it was, because of all the people that had put stuff on her. That's what you are being directed to do at this time, masculine. Use that feminine energy that you are starting to get comfortable with. Maybe you have been for a while, but you ain't think of it as feminine energy. Now you're over there like, okay. But taking care of yourself. Enjoy a nice salt bath. A good Himalayan salt bath is a way to clear the negative ions. Like, this is science we talking here now, baby, from you. dunk your head under there. Just get in there and make sure you always set your intention. Your intention, whether you're doing candle work or bath work or anything spiritual, is always the main thing that makes your magic work. What did you intend for this to do? So when you get in the salt bath, to clear off the stagnant energy that is not mine, to clear off anything that's still hanging from all the drama and the sadness and the depression I didn't even know I was going through. And when you get out of that bath, just you in there with some music, with some incense, you can light the candle, you can put the fur in there, you can do this spell in a waterway where you are using yourself as the thing that is being rebirthed. That's what baptisms are for you to restart anew, to cleanse out. It is a like sort of mock reenactment of being born. Like you go under, you come back out the water, boom, you're brand new. That's what's going on for these masculines. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a bunch of masculines starting to get like rebaptized again, but that has something to do with the male loneliness epidemic. I feel like that is about to shift also as this group of feminines steps into their power and into that flying range. So the last card. Oh, I needed to read this. I was about to hop ahead. You know when I get going, y'all. So the Dragon's Lair. You are always protected and divinely directed. You have a remarkable internal warning system that lets you know when things are out of alignment. You're about to enter dangerous territory, so tread carefully and be aware of your surroundings. The path you're on now is one that will challenge you to the core. That said, peril is also exciting and exhilarating, like the danger you feel before you enter a new relationship, knowing that you'll be changed forever. A life lived fully isn't lived only in safety. A new experience is calling to you, one that will test your courage. The choice is yours, but there is a greater value in risk taking than remaining unchallenged. New territories are waiting to be discovered. I would have never took that off that card because the Dragon's Lair, the energy I feel is something different. But what that reading just said to me, what that paragraph just said, is opening a box you're afraid to open because you don't know what's behind that, but you are curious, so you're going to go ahead and do it. I have a feeling that the card that I'm about to like reveal, the one I've been holding on to for you guys, is about to say something about what's in that box. Because remember, this is a bonus message. So for the ladies, bonus special, love spell. And it says, you've been bewitched, but you know what? And it's funny because look at this. Isn't that like a witch? That's Aradia, by the way. Aradia is Diana and Lucifer's daughter. She was the one that got taught the first witchcraft to teach the witches to protect themselves from all the stuff that happens to feminine people when you're down here. So if a dude wants to take you behind the barn and steal your goat, you know what I'm saying, then you can go home, whip something up, and he'll never use his plow to mess with a goat again. Like that's what a radio was in charge of. And that's what the energy coming off this feminine power. So this feels like a bewitchment by your own energy, ladies, though. You are the spell. You don't have to do a love spell. Like you are the love spell. You being fully in your empowered feminine is the spell, is the gift. Don't be surprised if you start getting more attention from people who would be suitors. Don't be surprised if you feel more eyes on you, if you have more people popping out of the background, because it's the change in your energy and you taking that dark feminine from dark to empowered. And when I say that, I picture always the dark phoenix. The idea of like being in the dark all that time for who knows how long. Behind that wall, the Professor X had been put up. And then as soon as the phoenix got out, it was like, poof, flame, right? That's what this love spell energy feels like. You were hiding part of yourself in the dark, or a part of you was oppressed so much it was in the dark. That part is bursting out. And that is the part that is adding a new layer to your aura that is going to be attractive to many, which is why it's also important that you had your defenses up, because your milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, but not all the boys are worthy of the milkshake. Okay. That's the message there. So the last message, this one's for the guys. There's a guardian angel with you. And there's a lost loved one that watches over you also during this time. So while you're going through this strange time, because it's strange because you're going to be doing something different, getting in touch with a part of yourself that you're like, but anything can happen is what I keep hearing. Is that a Natasha Bedingfield song? Anything can happen. Anything can happen. But that's what I keep hearing over here. This over here, and maybe a little of the feminine, needs to be open to allow. Like I started off as the theme for this video. Be open to allow what God has in store for you. Trust that there is something better. Because there were some times you were expecting A, B, C, and D, and it turned out way better. And it wasn't because that was what you was trying to put together, but it's because you let it go. Let go of your doubts regarding something positive that is coming in or that you feel coming. Like there's an angel on your shoulder, masculine. And that last part was just for everybody. There's an angel on your shoulder guiding you through this. Like there's somebody who recently passed over. Oh, this is making me emotional. Is that person here now? And this is collective, but I feel like, who is this person's or this people's, who's this masculine's like guardian angel? There's somebody who's watched you be sad and they don't want you to be sad anymore. Who is this person? I guess it can't tell me directly because it's a collective thing, but I felt the sadness. I felt the sadness from the soul, the passed on person that's watching you. Now, keep in mind, this person that's passed on, they're not in between. This person is in heaven. And they just stop and watch you sometimes. Like this person loved you a lot when they were alive. Like you were this person's baby, right? So, the worst thing for this being, this passed over person, is seeing you like this. Period. They don't want you alone. They don't want you in this energy. And that's all they've seen since they passed over. So they are personally, like their hand is in it, guiding you to step out. Step out, baby. That's what I felt. Step out of that, baby. You can't be there no longer. You can't stay there. That's not who you are. That's not who I know you to be, is what I'm feeling. Step away from all that stuff because it doesn't matter if you're going to lose yourself. Like, nah, this is somebody's like OG. Because like I feel so much sadness behind my eyes, but it's not like sad because they passed on. This soul is perfectly fine where they are. Like the feeling I'm getting is like heaven is great, you know. There are some people here I already knew. Like I'm feeling like a letter. Like there's some people I already knew here. It was really cool, you know. Death was surprising, didn't see that coming. But you know, we all gotta go sometimes. This person's main concern is like maybe you leaned on this person for advice, or this was the feminine energy that you clinged onto in this life, and that person not being there is it's not padding the blow of the sadness like it usually would for you. They want you to know that they are still helping from the other side, and some of those signs that you're getting are coming from them. Look, this literally says a lost one, a lost loved one watches over you. This person has been sending every sign in the world trying to pull you out of the hole, because what you are seeking seeks you. The love you are seeking is looking for you also. You were blinded by so many of the other things that were going on around you. You might not have even seen the signs or feel that sometimes this person, and I almost said she, hugs you sometimes when you think you're alone. Watches over you while you sleep. It feels like this person used to watch over you while you were asleep. Used to watch over you while you were asleep. Like even if you had spent the night over their house when you were an adult, this person would have still like peeked in your room or just like rubbed your eyebrow or something. It's just always important to this person to make sure you're okay. There's something that is precious about you to this person, and it might be that nobody else has ever seen even this part of you, or this precious part of you that this person loves. They would like for you to find somebody that you can share the beautiful parts of you that you were always able to share with them, with that person. It feels like a part of you has been like cut off, or it was cut off when this person went away, and they want you to know like, hey, it ain't gotta be like this. I did not expect mediumship and no ghost to pop up in this, but it is what it is. Like I did go holding that back because that was heavy. I felt it like The problem, what is this? Solar plexus. So what is your solar plexus? Felt it like in my stomach. Like if you were to cry about this, or if this was a guy that got this reading and that moment caught him off guard because he knew it was for them. If he was to cry at this moment, he would cry from everything that's blocked up in the solar plexus. So solar plexus blockage. Let me start with that. Symptoms of a solar plexus blockage, and that's the one that's above your navel, under your heart, like that whole mid stomach. If this guy was to cry, or this collective, they would be crying, and the heave would come from that area because you're actually clearing out the stagnant energy from that. Like spiritually throwing up is crying. So a blocked or imbalanced solar plexus chakra can manifest in both physical and emotional symptoms. Physically, you might experience digestive issues, fatigue, weight gain, or abdominal pain. Emotionally, you could struggle with self-esteem, feelings of worthlessness, I am worthy, and lack of personal power. So fatigue, high blood pressure, liver dysfunction, emotional stuff, low self-esteem, fear of rejection or criticism, a feeling of powerlessness, difficulty setting boundaries, difficulties with self expression, having a dominant negative voice in your head that constantly criticizes you, inner conflict, feeling torn between opposing desires and belief, an inability to trust yourself, feeling unsure of your own intuition and decisions, difficulty making decisions, struggling to make important choices, or feeling out of control of the circumstances in your life. Low self esteem, insecurity, procrastination, all of that in some way, shape, or form for this collective, this male one, is connected to losing out on a very positive feminine energy that used to be a filter for all the things you were taking from everybody else. Just a moment for you not to have to be in a position of what do you need? Poof, what do you need? What do you need? Well, just know the universe is guiding you to a time we're about to cleanse out all that negativity and that drama so you can line up with somebody that reminds you in a not creepy way of that person. So you don't have to have that void in your life. And feminines, y'all got this. That's what I feel. You thugging. You just about to go through your Love Island period. You just got to choose a suitor. There's not going to be an issue. Y'all have a good day. Hold on. That male loneliness epidemic is actually going to turn around in your favor because suddenly all the collective of dudes is going to want to date and settle down. They don't know it's because like there's some war coming and nobody wants to be alone during the war. Have you ever met a soldier or a Marine? How quick they like pair down with somebody? That's what's about to happen to the male collective. They don't know they're all soldiers. So the soldiers is about to get ready to pair in. 4:20 on the clock. Y'all have a good day.